Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm Matt. We are talking IHG and World of Hyatt credit cards with Tariq from Tariq's Rewards and the Stack Your Points podcast. Part one of this video is actually, of this extended interview, is actually also on my channel. That will be linked somewhere. It'll be a huge help if you watch that. But that is talking about Tariq's reaction to the Southwest changes that happened this week. Now here we're going to talk about the World of Hyatt credit cards, the IHG credit cards, and what Tariq would love to see as an IHG and Hyatt enthusiast to luxury versions of those cards. There's always been a rumored luxury World of Hyatt card, and now that IHG has extended their relationship with Chase, it would stand to reason that adding a higher tier credit card would make sense. So we talk about potential benefits on those cards, what those cards could look like, and go from there. So I think it's a pretty interesting conversation. If you like what I do, check out the pinned comment down below for ways to support me outside of YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe, and definitely check out Tariq's channel, Tariq's Rewards, and he will be, as always, a co-host on the Stack Your Points podcast. So yeah, check that out. We record on Monday nights. We post the video versions of the show here on YouTube in two parts, one on Wednesday, one on Friday. We do the full show on Saturdays. That is on the podcatcher of your choice. So we look forward to you checking that out. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about this conversation. It was nice. If you want to see the full unedited version of this conversation, check out my membership. That is the Tariq Collector. Full unedited. There you go. Look forward to that. And thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon. And enjoy part two. Bye for now. Now, while I have you, I want to switch gears and talk about a pair of credit cards also under Chase, a set of pair of credit cards also under Chase, going to your hotel brands and the IHG cards and the Hilton card, not Hilton, sorry, Hyatt card, because I always confuse Hyatt and Hilton. Hyatt is Chase, Hilton is not.
It's the H.
It's the H, yeah. So IHG late last year signed, or early this year, can't remember the exact timing on it. Sorry, I know I've reported on it, but IHG signed an 11-year extension with Chase, and IHG has also exclaimed that they want to increase the spend on their credit cards. So we'll look at the two credit cards from IHG. But do you think IHG would benefit from having a luxury or high-end type credit card akin to, we'll say, I'm going to use Chase's Ritz-Carlton card as an example, and I'll use a higher end example with the Hilton Aspire. I'm not going to touch the Amex Brilliant just because I don't know that they're going to give a card that would give diamond status automatically, but maybe. So do you think IHG would benefit from such a card, and what would you want to see from such a card?
So I don't know. So I've talked about on the podcast, Lonnie and I have shared that we both have the IHG Premier, him having the personal version, and I have the business version. And we put a good amount of spend on the card. Now, I don't know how much spend Chase and IHG are wanting for this card, but I see just to have a premier top high-end card, I could see it potentially working, because the $99 annual fee card on that is, in my opinion, one of, if not the best mid-tier hotel cards because of what it offers. Now, I did a little bit of a wish list just to see where it would go. I would give it a $550 annual fee just because it's akin to the Hilton Aspire, the Ritz-Carlton's like $450. That card is a weird thing where you got to play the game, wait a year, 10,000. We're not going to, again, Marriott don't feel like being Bonvoy. But speaking of Bonvoy, the Bonvoy Brilliant, I think it's what, $650? So
$650, $300 food credit, but that's broken up into $25 per month. Earns build earnings, who cares? And it gets you Bonvoy Platinum, which is their second highest status, but like the first one that actually starts to matter.
Yes, but that's the one that everybody can get.
Yeah,
I do think, and it would be, I would say that you can benefit with giving IHG Diamond status on it.
Okay.
Now, a recent benefit that was added onto IHG status with gold, like, was a Hertz co-brand, which is funny because I have a rental car for Hertz. So I don't know if it's going to work for me. I don't know if I'm going to get it in time, but IHG Gold and IHG Diamond get, I think it's Hertz 5-star or IHG Gold and IHG Platinum, and then Diamond gives you President Circle. So
Okay.
with IHG Diamond, you're going to get Hertz President Circle with it. And then you don't even have to add, like, you can keep the 10x spend on the card, but just because of it being you getting Diamond, you're going to get 30x total points on IHG stays. Because you're going to get 10 for being a member, 10 for the being an IHG Diamond stats member. So that's 10-10 because you get 100% points back and
Mhm.
10 on the card.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I would say you can just up the multipliers, the 5x to 6x, keep the 3x. So instead of 5x on travel dining, you're going to get 3x on travel dining in the gas stations. And the free night certificate, you can up it from 40,000 to 70,000. And for just to cushion the blow, you can give it more of the travel credit that's like the typical Chase travel credit, like that's on the Sapphire Reserve. Instead of it being 300, we can do 200 or even 150, just because if it's a good travel credit because it's good for any travel purchase, and like you're getting a supplement with IHG Diamond. So it doesn't have to be as high of an annual fee or high as a credit to cushion the blow because you're going to get that high status. Because IHG Diamond, you get a lot. And I would say IHG Diamond is up there with Hilton Diamond and Marriott Titanium or whatever it is, you get Bonvoy. So I think the IHG Diamond is up there. And again, I think IHG is somewhat of an underrated one because most people, when they think of IHG, if they even know IHG's brand, they're just going to think of the Holiday Inn and maybe the Intercontinental.
Yeah.
But granted, I've had IHG for like almost a year, and all of my stays have been either Holiday Inn or Holiday Inn Express. They're just that nice. But I do eventually want to stay at a Kimpton. I do want to stay at an Intercontinental, and I think Hotel Indigo. So there's a lot of value in there. And they have the Intercontinental Ambassador status,
Yep.
which still gives you platinum. I think that's what 225. I want to say they just recently upgraded it, so they upped the fee.
Yeah.
So
They upped it to 25 in October of last year.
So if you just throw a card on there for 550, give it IHG Diamond status, I think there's going to be people that would go. I could see myself getting a $550 annual fee card with IHG Diamond. I would honestly, as crazy as it sounds, let my foot off the gas of Hyatt and start funneling more to IHG if I have a premium IHG card that gives me IHG Diamond, because IHG Diamond is that good. I love IHG Platinum. And I'm
Now,
thankful
would
I
you
got
want,
Platinum.
shifting gears to some of the features of the card, because at 550 is a pretty steep annual fee, right?
It is high.
Now, would you be looking for this card to get you access to lounges? Would you want this card getting you access to it would be getting you Hertz President Circle because of the relationship between Diamond and Hertz. There is the $99 card gets you TSA pre-check and global entry and all of that. It will also give you a $50 United Airlines. The $99 card gives you a $50 United Travel Bank cash. So you would swap that for the 150 in travel, just a 150 travel benefit, right?
Yes.
Or you said up to 250. Okay. So let's max that at 250, right? Because people always have to do their net annual fee being like as close to zero as possible, because God forbid you get value and pay money for it. So let's max that to 250, you said. So now your net annual fee is down to 300. And then the first year you're going to sign up for global entry, TSA pre-check. So that's another 120 off. Would there be anything else that you'd want to get travel wise? I would assume that this card would get Chase level protections, such as they are with travel, akin to the Sapphire Reserve and the Sapphire Reserve, the Ritz-Carlton, the United Infinite. This would come with fourth night free. You said $70K anniversary night. The $99 card lets you save 20% on point purchases when you purchase points with your card. Would you want to get a higher discount with a 550 card?
I could see it upping it to maybe 30. I think 30% is a good amount, but you don't want to go too high because the IHG and Chase still need to make money on the card. Like I could make this the consumer friendly card if we want, but I got to live in some sphere of realism. I would like to see. I know because when I was doing a little bit of research, when I was thinking of the wish list, I used a good amount of the Ritz Carlton and the Hilton Aspire. Obviously, Amex is synonymous with credits
Right.
on their cards, and I know the old Surpass used to have, I think it was Priority Pass Select.
Yes.
I think that could be something good since we don't have to deal with United with that travel bank, because realistically, I think that will come out on Friday. I think that was a topic that Lonnie had up. So it's on for at the day of this recording, it actually released today. That was one of the credits on the card that I just let burn. Like, you get 2 biannual $25 United Travel Bank credits, and they expire after the 6 months. So I'm not going to hold my breath trying to utilize that. So those can go. So that's why I think utilizing the travel credit would be better off versus the United Travel Bank that, frankly, no one uses that I know of, because you can't.
Yeah.
Maybe if you can apply it to maybe a club lounge access, so you get a discounted club lounge. But other than that, no. I could see them potentially using like the IHG Executive Club access, but I don't know. Like, that's few and far between the executive clubs per property. Not every IHG property is going to have those lounges, but I could see them doing like a priority pass, because it's not like it's a premium bank card. It's not a Venture X. It's not a Sapphire Reserve. It's not a Platinum. So you can get priority pass, and you could maybe even still do the priority pass restaurants. So that could be a plus. So I could see that. I can see that on there as well. And I think that having it, as much as this, we don't really like using the term, the effective annual fee of $300, not including the credit, I think the priority pass, even if it's just restricted to 10 lounge passes, I think 10 is a good number. And of course, you're getting 70,000 IHG points in the free net cert, which is like $350. So you're actually going to come out ahead per effective annual fee.
Yeah, you can come out a little bit ahead. I do think letting that card get access to Sapphire lounges could be a good play. I just don't know what. So the thing would be, you have the Phoenix Lounge, which is 3,500 square feet, which is annoying in retrospect, right? Because the other lounges are the San Diego Lounge is 10,000, the Philadelphia Lounge is 10,000. I don't remember how big the Las Vegas Lounge is going to be. The Etihad lounges that they're using, one is, I believe, 6,600 square feet. The other one is like 4,600 square feet. And then you've got the massive 20,000 square foot at LaGuardia. So, like, the ones that are 10,000 and above, you should be able to get into relatively easily with this Magic 550 IHG card. Like, Phoenix, you'd have to, like, you could get in if somebody will walk out.
Yeah, like, I guess I know, and my speculation when I've seen these lounges is that since Southwest doesn't have lounges, and I think in Southwest is the like exclusive bank transfer partner, I've been seeing like how Southwest or the Sapphire lounges could be the Southwest, like Sapphire lounges could be the Southwest lounges that we don't have to an extent, because Sky Harbor is, even though it's a smaller-ish airport, it's still an American hub, and it's a Southwest focus city.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, you can get nonstops to Vegas. I think Vegas is somewhat of a smaller-ish focus city, but they're going to have one there. So I think seeing, like, with that, I think you could see a possibility of using Sapphire lounges. But if you get Sapphire, it may not be like the unlimited Sapphire lounge access. You may be restricted to X amount of visits, because realistically, if you have a premium hotel card, yeah, you're going to be traveling, but it's not like you're using it for travel focus. IHG can be a road trip warrior hotel brand.
Yeah.
Because you can throw a rock and hit a Holiday Inn off a highway. So I see having them restricted to a certain amount of passes versus having the unlimited Sapphire lounges. Give them, I don't know, 6 passes. I think that could be beneficial.
Yeah. So yeah, 550 card, that feels right. That card could actually play out pretty well. Now let's switch gears and go to the hotel chain that has your heart, that you can't burn points fast enough with. We have the $95 annual fee World of Hyatt card. That card has its stupid welcome offer. I hate that welcome offer. I want the business welcome offer on the personal card because I just want it to be a straightforward 60,000 points.
It would be great if they did that.
Yeah, it would be.
It's one of those, if I would even go for the second tier, I would just go for at least the first tier and get 30,000 Hyatt points and then the free night cert after the first year. Because
yeah, but
it's rough, but it's something.
So I know that I've put out there, I would be interested in a luxury World of Hyatt card. I just don't know what this card looks like, because the current card is 9 times points at Hyatt, but it's goofy 9 times points because you get 4 bonus points and the 5 points for just being a Hyatt member. Okay, fine. Then it's 2x category. It's only 2x on dining airline tickets purchased directly from the airline. So you can't even use the Chase portal, which is whatever. Gym membership, local transit, and commuting. Like, I feel like the earning potential of a higher end card could be better. And then it's 1x everything else. You do get Discover status. You get your free night 1 to 4. Second night, when you spend 15,000 in a calendar year, which that's really what the welcome offer is. It's 60,000 and a free night, and then you get your free night at the beginning of the second year. If they marketed it that way, I could live with it, but they don't market that way. So like, you have to market it yourself and then be like, oh yeah, that's the way it goes. The current card received 5 qualifying nights just for holding the card, and 2 qualifying nights for every $5,000 in spend you do. What would a premium card look like to Tariq?
Obviously, Hyatt Globalist has a significant value, and that's why people break their necks that are in Hyatt. They have the personal and the business card and pretty much funnel all their spend on the card, and mattress run like crazy to go get Globalist. So I can't justify having a Hyatt premium card with Globalist unless that fee is going to be higher than the platinum. It's got to be like a 700, 750 annual fee, if not even 800 if you want to get Globalist. So
I wonder if that would get a comma.
As good as Hyatt Globalist is, I could see it. And I don't know if Chase can even handle doing a comma annual fee. So we could give it Explorist because there's some value with Explorist. Yeah, it's basically a slightly better Discoverist, but you're going to get the upgraded room benefit versus the preferred room upgrade. And you're going to get the 72-hour guaranteed availability, and you're going to get the advantage redemption options. So there's some value in Explorist over Discover. So obviously we can give it Explorist instead of, and maybe a slightly easier path to Globalist, just to influence spend. I could see they could realistically keep the 2-tier sign-up bonus if they do 60,000 points in the first 3 months, and then like the 30,000 second tier. So you can make it like a 90,000, like a 20 or 30,000 points in second tier, make it an 80 or a 90,000 Hyatt point card. Because the people that love Hyatt, myself included, would jump on that. Because 90,000 Hyatt points is insane. Most people, they do the Chase trifecta and get at least baseline. If you get all 3 at non-elevated annual sign-up bonuses, that can net you 100,000 Chase points, which a lot of people just use that as 100,000 Hyatt points. So if you just get 90,000 Hyatt points out the bat, that's a beneficial one. Plus, if they do the spend to influence more spend. So I could see that going. I could see them having 90,000, like a 2-tier sign-up bonus. I could see them upping the free night cert, keep the free night cert, but instead of a category 1 through 4, make it a category 1 through 6.
Okay.
I wouldn't go all the way to 7 or 8 just because there's still a lot of value in those. Again, like the Globalist, because then you're looking at like the Aaliyah Ventana Big Sur. It's like a
Yeah.
category 8. But there are some really good category 6s. Like you're still going to get potentially, I think, like some good Thompsons and maybe even some Park Hyatts. You're definitely going to get Grand Hyatts, Hyatt Regencies. And I think because even the Hyatt Regency that I looked at in Waikiki Beach is, I want to say it's a category 6. It's either 5 or 20,000 points per night.
For a 1-6, a 1-6 would still get you plenty of value and still get you a ton more value than what the current 1-4 is giving you. Yeah, because the number of hotels that have been moving out of 4 over the last 3 or 4 years, like a 1-6 cert on a World of Hyatt premium card. We're just going to call it a premium card because I don't know what they would call it. But like 1-6 on that would reopen a lot of stuff for folks that they've lost in the last 2 or 3 years. And would definitely rejuvenate the brand.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like the stuff well, even then. So here's been my thought process, right? This card would also be anywhere from 350 to 550, right? This card would have to Explorist. Like I'm with you on Explorist. I can do the 1-6. I think if you hold this higher end card, you should be entitled to a 30% point discount when booking Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Because of the dynamic nature of that, you should get like elevated perks when booking the Palazzo in Vegas. You should get something more with the new, like if they're potentially moving to dynamic, which we don't know, but if they're potentially moving to dynamic, at least this card could ease some of the pain by making it worth getting by giving you those discounts at Mr. and Mrs. Smith, by giving you discounts at the Palazzo, or giving you additional perks at the Palazzo. Maybe it's some sort of Palazzo specific concierge. I don't know. I feel like this card should also give you an extra. So like the $95 card, if you put 15, 20, let's say 20,000 on the card because you're going to get a 1-6, right? You could get a second 1-6 by putting 20,000 in spend through the card.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think this card, let's top it to 550. Let's just go all the way to 550 because like all Chase premium cards should be 550 apparently, or 525.
Except the Ritz-Carlton. Get Bonvoy.
Yeah. So the $95 card gives you 5 qualifying nights. This card should give you 10.
I'd say 10. And I'd also say the additional tier qualifying credits, we can keep it at 5,000, but instead of it being 2 qualifying nights, let's just make it 3. Because I feel like 4 is just a little too much for 5,000. I think you can add the extra qualifying night to make it 3 for every 5K spend. So I think that could be like an additional path to Globalist. Because if you're going to keep the business card as it is, 4 points, 4 qualifying nights at 5,000 is, you're going to get a better value than the 5 on 10. Like you're going to get better value doing the 3, but at least with the 3, you're going to have the higher annual fee to make up for that.
And you'd only have to so the card itself gives you 10. It would give you 10 nights, right? You'd still need to get 50 more nights to qualify for Globalist. So 3 times 5,000. So 5,000, every 5,000 spend gives you 3 nights. You would need, if you weren't planning on spending any nights at a hotel, you just wanted to spend your way to Globalist, that would be 3 times, you would need to do 20 nights would be 60, 19 would be 58, 16 would be, so you need to do 17 nights, right? So let's do 5,000 times 17. You would still need to do $85,000 in spend to spend your way to Globalist.
And I think that still gives Globalist that edge of being the top tier. You still have to, it's almost like the white whale almost. Like it's still like you still have to work for Globalist. Even at the extra qualifying night and double qualifying nights credits just for having the card.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense. I don't know that I want to. The one thing I'd always be lazy and slap on like TSA pre-check global entry. I don't know that's necessarily worth it, but I do think holding a 550 card should get you not necessarily Globalist concierge, but should get you your own dedicated Hyatt concierge. And I don't know if that means Hyatt Privé or Hyatt Leverage membership, but you should get something there to make your experiences at your Hyatt stay on your Hyatt stays a little bit better.
I would say like slightly below like the Privé, a dedicated Hyatt Premium cardholders line that you're going to get the elevated customer service, but it's not going to be at the Globalist or the Privé status because you're paying for that. You're spending your way to that, whether it be staying 60 nights or putting all the spend on the card.
Yeah. Now, the one last thing I would ask on this, Globalist, one of the least talked about features of Globalist that I think is one of the coolest features of Globalist is you can do point booking without having the points in your account at the time of booking. Right? You can do like ghost point booking effectively. I think if that feature was put on a 550 card that did everything else we're talking about, it would make the card superior, like obnoxiously overpowered, but would get people in the door because they're trading. Like you're getting a Globalist, you're getting like the key feature of Global, and maybe that's why you don't do it, but you could get like the least heralded feature of Globalist that only a certain percentage of people would do.
So let me ask you, because I wasn't 100% aware of that. Was there like a cap on the like ghost points booking? Is there like a certain amount of points? So I think if you could do that, have that kind of somewhat of a cap, because again, you gotta get globalists to get the full thing. And maybe give you like the club lounge passes. Like you get like something like that for the card.
Club lounges could work, or a soft cap on that, because you have to have the points in your account by the time that you do the stay.
Or also charge you like the points plus cash, or are they going to cancel the card or cancel the booking?
You may be forced to pay full cash, which would suck, especially if you're doing like the Park Hyatt in New York City, or you're doing like a Park Hyatt somewhere where it's a category 8. I don't remember the exact circumstances. If you don't have the points available, they could cancel out, or you may have to pay cash. So any Hyatt globalists who want to let me know how wrong and stupid I am for offering this as an option, please check out the comments. But I do think a feature like that would be like a killer feature that isn't yet another global entry, TSA pre-check, priority pass option, because this card would need something really unique. And I do think the 1-6 would be helpful. I do think 3 nights instead of 2 for every 5,000 in spend. And I think 10 nights would be awesome. But I do want to see, but I would love to see like something else, especially since it's going to be a terrible earning card, because they could keep the 2 points per dollar, or they could borrow from the business card where you earn 2 points per dollar on your top 3 categories per quarter. And they just give you a list of categories.
I think that, and then instead of the airline tickets directly through the airline, just make it a general travel.
Then you could get 2 Hyatt points per dollar.
Yeah,
2 Hyatt booking
there
at a Marriott.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like you don't want to use your top end Hyatt card to book at Marriott Studio Res, because all you're going to get at Studio Res is 4 points per dollar and not have anything else reflected.
You know what? That's a good point. That would probably make the Hyatt card too overpowered.
Yeah.
But hey, at 650, I might have to consider that.
Yeah, walk into my booking at the Conrad. I see Sir has made a reservation with us through this Hyatt card. May we ask why?
So
why not?
Why not? It's because, good sir, I subscribe to the YouTube channel Stack Your Points, and this is a point stack hack that even Lonnie would personally shake my hand for.
Yeah, 2 points per dollar on the card plus whatever you're gonna get with. Yeah, that would be hilarious. So I do think that would be an interesting card. So end of the day, we've sketched out $550 annual fee. We've done. You're going to keep the same normal ridiculous points earning at Hyatt. We're not going to increase that. We're going to steal from the business card with the 2x, 2 points per dollar on your top 3 spend categories. or we'll just make airlines. No, you know what? We'll do top 3. So it can be whatever, dining, airline tickets, local transit and commuting, rental cars, gas stations, internet, phone, cable. We'll do groceries, and you get 2x on gym memberships as well. Top 3 categories get 2x
Yeah.
points.
Wait, did I hear that right? A Chase card that earning for groceries?
The Aeroplan card earns 3 times points on groceries. You're fine.
Yeah, but Hyatt? That's 4% on groceries effectively if you're valuing Hyatt points at 2 cents per point that most people get.
Don't talk them out of it, man.
Hey, look, I'm all for it. It just Chase card with groceries. I'd be more likely to hear you speak praises on the Sapphire Preferred.
Never. So complimentary World of Hyatt Explorer status, you get a free 1 to 6 sat cert. If you spend $20,000 on the card, you get a second free night certificate. You earn 10 nights per dollar, 10 night credits for holding the card, and you earn 3 tier qualifying nights for every 5,000 spent on the card. So you'd still have to spend $85,000 to qualify for Globalist. That's taking into account the 10 nights that you already have, and some sort of an elevated concierge type service, not necessarily Hyatt Leverage or Hyatt Privé, and not the Globalist level concierge, but you get something, and potentially like a ghost booking light type benefit where it's not Globalist's complete ghost point booking, but you do get some sort of point cap where, let's say, 100,000 points. You have a 100,000 point cap where you don't need the 100,000 points to make the booking, but you do have to have at least those points to make it by the time of the booking. And in addition, I said, what was the last thing I said? There was some other cool thing I said.
I think that was the last one, because I know we briefly touched on like the Club Lounge pass, but
yeah, I could trade that. I did feel there was something else, but let me know in the no. So 550, you think that's something that you'd be interested in? Because that's the sort of card that I would love to get.
Yeah, no, that would be a top tier Hyatt card. Like I could see myself using that a lot. And
point discounts at Mr.
that's what it was.
Smith.
30% point discounts on Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yep. And something at the Palazzo, I don't know what. Yeah, so Tariq, this was a bunch of fun. Do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to tout here?
Southwest, I don't feel the love, and they make me want to get away. And I did download Mileage Plus X back. Oh, how I missed it on my phone. I got to go evaluate because there's potential of getting a lot of Hyatt points again. Or top United miles. Good Lord.
Yeah. All right, Tariq, this was a bunch of fun. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to put the full version of this up on my member side, but we're going to edit this down for consumption. Thanks, man.
Awesome. Appreciate it.